All right. Oh, we are live. Nice. Sorry for the bad lighting, guys. Not get the blinds coming in from this way. What up, guys? I don't know how many people are going to show up. That's all right, though. I just want to make a video for you guys this Sunday morning since the weather outside is super cold, guys. Not a good time to be outside in the garage, I'll tell you that. So I just want to come on here live real quick, give you guys a video for the week. Talk about life for a minute. Every once in a while, I kind of I go into OCD mode, and I just start going through things, throwing away garbage, and just going through kind of like down memory lane. It's always good in life to take a moment and reflect on your life and who you have become so far in life. I feel like we live a life that is so fast paced, guys. I mean, nonstop fast paced. We are moving, guys. And sometimes 10 years could go by super fast, guys. Super fast. And with a blink of an eye, 10 years has passed. And you feel like, what have I done in life? You get to that moment where you're like, oh, what have I done? Have I done anything? And you feel like you haven't accomplished anything. And at that moment in life, guys, you have to kind of go back, and that's why it's nice to have, these social medias, because you can always go back and look back in years and just to see where you started and where you become in that timeline, which is really nice, guys. It's just like back in the olden days, guys, before all this social media, it was photos. You would have a photo book, literally a photo book, guys, and you'd be able to go back and look at your kids when they were babies to teenagers to, becoming adults. And I feel, like I said, life goes by super fast, and especially the older you get, life just even goes faster. When you're young, you're just living life and enjoying it. But when responsibilities as an adult comes in, paying bills, working, job, and just everything that surrounds all that stuff, guys, life goes even faster. And the more stuff you have on your plate, the faster life goes. So with that said, guys, it's just crazy to think about, going back and reflecting on some things, guys. It's just, I love doing it. It's really great for your soul. It's great for your mind because, like I said, we live in a society that's so fast paced and so fast moving because technology is the same way. It's just go, 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 go. The faster that stores could get your money, before it was just cash. Now you got card. Now you got your phone, and all you have to do is zap your phone, and payments are going by so fast. And that's how life is, guys. And so, like I said, sometimes it's great to just take a moment and let the dust settle and really look back and reflect on your life. And like I said, I like every once in a while, probably like once, maybe twice a year, I'll go back, get my OCD, start cleaning, organizing things again. And you start reflecting on things. It's crazy. Crazy. My grandfather passed years ago. It's been a while. But obviously, I saved a few things that in the memory of him because, obviously I was somewhat raised by my grandparents. So it's just nice to have things like this that's just like, kids, I don't know if you know what this is, but no, this is not a wallet. This is actually called a business card holder. Back in the day, guys, to really represent your business, you really had to stand out. Before social media, before even computers were a huge thing, you really had to show your business off. And the best way of doing it is having business cards. And you want to get your business name out there, how you would do it is a business card, guys. So it's nice to have my grandfather's name, written on there. It's kind of something super cool. But obviously has his, business. Obviously he was in the CNC machining for, I feel like it's 100 years. I grew up. It's so crazy to think about that. I grew up not a lot of people could say this, but I grew up in the CNC business life. Like I said, my grandfather owned a business, and that's what they did. They machined. And I saw it's so crazy because I seen the old CNC machines that were like, it's hard to describe, but before computers were advanced, they had these, it's almost like a big ticket roll, and it had dots on it. And so you would run it through the machine and would tell the machine what to do because they would read the dots. But obviously, advanced and went to Hayes machine, CNC machines that are super advanced in the CNC world. If anyone knows about it, it's super crazy. Like I said, I was very lucky to grow up in that scene. A lot of kids can't really say they grew up in the CNC machine, so I was around it with my grandparents. I messed around with a few things. That's why I think I kind of got the hands of, just wanting to change things. Because I remember, obviously being well, you can't see it, but a biker, a BMXer, I always wanted to build bikes. So I would always change stuff on it. You do your headsets, handlebars, seats, wheels, three-piece crank, would you always changing things. So I know a few times that I kind of messed with trying to build a custom bicycle frame and kind of like played around with that kind of stuff. So it was kind of cool. But before a lot of this stuff took off, if you guys remember, MySpace was a thing. And MySpace was like a good way to get your whatever you're doing. Like you could have a personal page, and you had one for your, like, let's say your car, because obviously back in the day there were forums instead of what they have now. But I remember it's like right there, AJ Performance put some power between the legs, guys. That was kind of like my first, like, really, really, really breakout into motorcycles. Obviously, my first motorcycle was a Ninja. I think it was 89 Ninja 250. Nothing special, but I did tinker around with the stuff, to put exhaust on it, do a filter and all that stuff. But when I really got serious into motorcycles, but I always was a car guy since being a kid, guys. It's such a long story, but obviously I was a BMX racer, dirt jumper, all that stuff, and I always had two wheels hardcore into my life, especially growing up. And so every, like, early in the morning, like, I kid you not, it's 5 a.m, I would get up, get my friends, get our BMX bikes, and we would go to the local dirt jumps, and I would spend all day there, just non-stops. And that was the weekends. And then during the summertime, that was every day for me. But what got me into Mustangs, guys, had to be like 95, 96 time. My maybe a little earlier than that too. Could have been like 94 too. It's very being a kid. But I remember one time I was riding my bicycle to, like, my friends lived in townhouses across the street from our home area. And there was a 7-Eleven that we always used to go to because, like I said, always on bikes. I remember seeing my first, like, actual Mustang was got super lucky, 93 Mustang Cobra in teal. I remember seeing the teal, it just popped. And then I saw the snake on the car, and you just knew, like, that was a special car, and I fell in love with it. Maybe a year or so goes by, my neighbor turned 16, and obviously I had to been like 8, 9. I forgot how old I was. But their parents bought him a kind of like a custom built Mustang GT. And I remember seeing that. I'm like, oh my God, that car is sick. And I fell in love with it, that time too. I'm like, oh man. So I always was in love with cars. I never really, being that age, my dad was a motorcycle guy, but I never really, at the time, wasn't seeing myself with motorcycles. So, like I said, I bought my first bike, 250. Man, what year was that? 99, 2000. Played with it, sold it for stupid cheap. It was a crazy time during my life during that time. It was real crazy, guys. But I end up So it had to been 2005 then. Get some pictures, guys. 2005, I end up going to a local dealer in Elgin, Illinois called BBK. Uh, it was my first time really looking into motorcycles. Obviously, my dad was still riding a Harley and stuff like that, and I don't know what it was. I was living in Elgin during the time and doing construction, and I went up to this dealer called BBK. It was a Kawasaki dealership in Elgin. Very small, old building, just really cool. At the time, there was great people working there. I end up during the time, I don't know if they still have it, but they used to have a layaway. So I did construction, and I walked in, and I saw this bike, guys. A 1996 Suzuki GSXR 600, which is called a Shred. And it had chrome wheels. Everything was polished on it. Super cool bike. I fell in love with it because obviously it was a sport bike and being a young kid. I didn't have the full money, and they're like, "Hey, we have layaway program. You put $1,000 down, and you pay like $500 a month or something until the bike is paid off by springtime. It just has to be paid off by springtime." And so I think it was like May. It had been paid off, and I'm like, "All right." So I think I put $1,000 down. Got my very first, I guess, real sport bike. It'll be my second bike, my real first sport bike. And I think they have dates on it. Let's see. Oh, 2005. So this was February of 2005. It even says the date on it. Yeah, February. So it must have been February 2005, guys. You guys can see. It was super, like I said, guys, it was super nice. And like I said, I can't believe I still have the photos. Like, that's how intense I got with this bike, guys. I went to the dealership. I took pictures so I could, when I'm at work, I could just look at it and be like, all right, this is what it's going to be. And crazy thing is, I end up getting the bike, riding it, and that's how my motorcycle ideas and becoming a mechanic and all this stuff became a reality. I remember I polished some more stuff on it. I actually painted, obviously being a Ford guy, guys, I painted Sonic Blue because I love Sonic Blue during those times because of the 0304 Cobra that was in Sonic Blue. And that was my favorite car. That was my dream car of owning because it was such a sick car back. And like I said, this is early 2005s, guys. So they were only a year or two, new of those Cobras. So I love the color so much. I ended up painting the bike Sonic Blue, guys. So I got super excited with that Sonic Blue. And then so I end up with this page. You guys can see AJ Performance. I end up doing a MySpace, and obviously you guys can see 2006. I actually started. I broke the bike. It had to been probably very close. It was like that year when I first got it. I met a guy. I forgot. I wish I still had his business card, but there was a motorcycle shop downtown Aurora, and super cool guy. He had a 03 GSX 1000 stretched to 20 feet long, 240 tire, slammed down to the ground, and the bike looked sick. I wanted in. So what I did, I told the guy, I'm like, I'm breaking the bike apart. I customize a lot of parts on this bike. I end up setting up all the parts to get chrome through this guy. And I got an arm from him. And that was like a few $1,000s. But like I said, I was doing construction. I was doing pretty well for myself. So I'm like, you know what? I'm building a custom motorcycle. So I took the bike completely apart. I wanted to do a 1,000 motor in it, but it was at the time, obviously, I was just getting into it. I had a motor lined up. I had the frame all apart. I tried to put the motor in. It was like not lining up completely. I said, you know what, let's scratch that idea. And that's how I met Alex that I started working with. I started doing that in the wintertime because I got laid off in the wintertime. So I had this little project bike. And I actually built the bike in my grandfather's basement, which is crazy. I had everything set up down there. I had all the parts out. I actually ended up buying a 750 motor for it. So I got rid of the 600 and put a 750 motor in it. And then obviously we did some crazy stuff. That's down another day. That's for another day. But yeah, just looking into that, just man, it's like 2005 started it all, and now look at where I'm at now. So it's just that's like what I'm saying, guys. You always want to look back in history of your own history and just to see what's going on. So that just started my career into like sport bikes at first, and then I start really when Biker Build Off was running on Discovery Channel. Obviously, had OCC, but the biggest thing that really set my fire of like the Harley world, but obviously at the time, Harley stuff was not cheap. We're talking early 2000s, mid 2000s, and choppers was a craze. They were 60, 70, 80, 100 plus $1,000. They had dealerships that had the choppers there, and they were selling for 60, 70, 80,000 dollars. Obviously, I don't have that kind of money. I'm still a young kid, trying to figure out life still. But obviously, being young, you want the sport bike, you want the speed, you want that, all that good stuff. Being young, so I had that good times over there, guys. So I went to Bike Week. I actually got to meet a lot of the huge chopper people back in the day, which is kind of cool to see. But Jesse James had a show, Motorcycle Mania, and obviously I own the DVDs. That really set me off, and I'm like, dude, I gotta get myself to build a custom bobber, and I really wanted to do one. Like, I've been brewing for years in my mind, but obviously I was building badass sport bikes, winning awards, taking down everyone. And during these times, during the craze of the like I said, early 2000s, IMS still had the biker build, like biker series bike show. And when the choppers kind of tanked, everything tanked with it. And just like what's going on now, IMS completely vanished for years. It completely just vanished and it was gone. All right, guys. And it's kind of like what's going on now. It's been 2-3 years now that we have not seen a IMS show, which is International Motorcycle Show, just like the Chicago Auto Show, but for motorcycle world. They get to see all the new models coming out, and then they had a custom show part of it. So I was working with my buddy Alex at his shop, and he took me out under his arm, and I start really figuring out things about stuff, and I got to build some really badass, really badass bikes. I got to go to awesome shows. One a lifetime. Like, I'm so happy how everything went in my life during the times that I had the time to do it. Being young is the best time to do it because I really got to see and feel life fully. Obviously, I wasn't making $1 million, but I was still happy because I had a good running car. I had a badass bike. That's all. That was a key thing. Like, I always want to make sure I had a badass bike at all times. That's it, guys. Fuck everything else. But like I said, when you're young and have nothing, you could have that lifestyle for a minute. But I remember we got called because the shop I was working for is really huge in the Chicagoland area. Because like I said, we were doing things, and we actually got called in when IMS was going to start doing the show again, and they wanted to bring the custom motorcycles back into the show. So to be part of that, and I think we had the biggest display. I think we brought 7 bikes, and one of my buddy Rick's bike was there that I built. We built a few other bikes that were there. And like I said, guys, during that time, I kid you not, there was probably 20 custom motorcycles only. And like I said, we had 7 of them at the show. And obviously, if you guys been there, it actually grew again, and it became what it was, years ago when it was around with the custom motorcycles, and they were having at least probably 50 bikes at the time. So it's cool to say that I'm the OG in the game. I was there when the show hit, and I was doing the World of Wheels since 2007. And every time I enter anything since 2007, I take first place all the time. And I just fell in love with the World of Wheels, being, in that environment of, being a car guy. It's wintertime, snow outside. There's nothing to do. So it always hyped me up to build something new for the show. And obviously it was a perk working for a shop, because not just your bike, but you building other customers' bikes to go to the show. And it was a really, really good time in my life, for sure. And sometimes I forget about the things I have accomplished in life. I have accomplished a lot of stuff. I owned a business. I started up, just kind of like throwbacks of, MySpace, when you could go there and, or it's like a forum, and you can kind of go there and see the process of a build that you were doing, which is really cool. Which is really cool, guys. It's just, like I said, I was just going down memory lane. And guys out there too, man, if you ever feel like you haven't done anything, just take a half a day, and just, if you have photos, go back on Facebook, go all the way to the start. Just look at back where you came from, and look where you are now, and you will see the change. And then you will think to yourself, like, wow, I have accomplished a lot in life. I feel great about myself. And just, if, like I said, if you're always feeling down or something, just do that. And I'm telling you, it's going to reboot you into a different way. And that's why motorcycles always been a huge thing with me. Obviously, cars have been with me since I was a kid. I seen the car scene come and go. And every time I get with the young kids, like, oh, the car scene is so cool, is that you have not seen anything, guys. If you weren't around during the early 2000s, maybe let's just call it mid 90s, because mid 90s was jumpy. But when Fast and Furious first came out, Fast and Furious 1, it changed the game in the car scene. People do not realize, to this day, even the young kids don't even realize how much things changed. Everyone got involved. There was car shops on almost every corner, neons, performance bars, you name it. They had a shop like Toys R Us for car guys to go to. I don't know if you guys remember this. If you remember it, please comment down here. That we used to be able to go places, just like in the movie. Hey, I want two Nas. There was actually shops like that in real life, which really sucks. And it's not around anymore. And that's why I said car guys these days, these young car guys don't know nothing about the car scene of the early 2000s, because they probably weren't even born yet. Was the most beautiful time ever, guys. It's super crazy that we kind of lost that, which sucks. But that's why I pray that we're Fast and Furious would get their head out of their booties and make the last Fast and Furious all about the cars again, and get people hyped for car scenes again. Just super hyped, guys. Super hyped. But like I said, guys, it's just, that's all I wanted to talk about today. It's just, great memories. If you're ever feeling down, please look back in your life and, see where you started and where you are now. You're going to see a huge difference. Like I said, guys. So it's crazy, guys. Like I said, I have like old business cards, it's crazy, guys. It's crazy to look back on life. But like I said, always take a moment to look back in your life of what you have accomplished, because you might be surprised on actually how much you accomplished in life. And you will be like, wow, I have done a lot that a lot people don't do. So, which is really cool, guys. With that said, and obviously I built some sick ass, my personal collection of bikes. I have built some of the baddest sport bikes, choppers, bobbers, cafe racers, you named it. It's just such a beautiful thing, and very blessed that I had the chance to enjoy that time during my younger ages. And obviously I still do it, guys. I still do it. And I think that's why one thing I kind of miss. I started playing with cars again, started doing car things, builds. But It's just, I don't know, something about building a motorcycle with your own two hands and having that one off. Anyone could build a Mustang, but to be able to build a full custom motorcycle with your hands, and now I could go everywhere from the fab work all the way to the paint work and beyond that is really cool to be able to say that. And I'm super excited for this next build that I'm doing. Um, I don't know. I know I have one more bike I want to build before I really kind of just like relax. And this is my collection for now. And obviously that's going to be a sport bike, and just to be able to have that, and because I still really want to get back into racing. Obviously, there's other things I have to focus on right now. That's why I'm kind of holding back on another sport bike right now. I know I had the ZX10 on the channel, but right now I'm just going to pause on the sport bikes. I want to build one more full custom motorcycle before I go into the sport bike and kind of call that my finish project, to be able to have, I got my Street Glide to be able to cruise and, do all that fun stuff. And then I'll have my one-off chopper that I'll be able to kind of like go to shows, go to bike things, and just be able to really enjoy it. And say that I built the thing with my own two hands and custom fab to all the work that's done to the bike. And then obviously my sport bike, I just want just to be able to see the racing part of it. I know a lot of the car guys say we nuts, and we all can sit here and say you're driving a 3,000 horsepower car, so you're pretty nuts too. But I guess a lot of car guys feel that you're on two wheels with nothing around you compared to a car. You're in a cage. But something about going in the 8s, 7s on a motor on two wheels is something really cool to be able to say. And obviously, motorcycles don't take up room at all, so which is really cool. A car takes up a lot of room, guys. But yeah, guys, I don't know. Maybe open. Yeah, I always said to myself, should I open up another bike shop? But the market is so weird. It's up and downs. Just like right now, the career that I chose right now. I was thinking about opening maybe a fab shop, not just for motorcycles, for other things too, and custom paint work. But then it's a lot of work. A lot of people don't realize owning a business is not 1, 2, 3, 9 to 5, you're out. You're literally working 24/7. And when you're not at work, you are at work at home, and it never ends. And you always have to worry about where your next paycheck is coming. And if you have workers, it's just the same thing you have to do, is worry about them, where they're going to go. So it's just, I don't know if I want to do that per se. Obviously, I will do things for people. But yeah, guys, I don't know. That's all I want to say. I'm like, guys, please just look back in your life and just see what you have accomplished in life. And you, like I said, you will reflect on what you have done and where you are now, and you will see the change and the growth that you have made. And it's a beautiful thing, because like I said, life is fast, and you do so fast, and then you forget. Do and you forget. Do and you forget. And then when you go back and look back and like, oh man, I built that bike, dude. That bike was sick. I built that bike. That bike was sick. Oh, I did that. That thing was sick. And you realize in that 10 years, 20 years, 30-year time frame that you have accomplished a lot in your life. And that's what life is really about. As old as you get, you want to sit back and realize life is short too. And the older you get, you realize the most important things is, not just be able to do and build custom things that people appreciate, but also appreciate yourself and your family around you and your loved ones. That's like the biggest thing in life, that you have your family. And vacation is like the key thing for me for 2025 is you could work, have money, have all your toys, but at the end of the day, I think the most important thing is to, and part of that, if that is the person you are, is be able to enjoy life. not just work, 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 have toy, 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 work, 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 but work, work, work. Take the moment, relax, go on vacation with your families, your friends, and just have a moment to smile, laugh, and enjoy life because life is short. And the older you get, the faster life moves, unless you take control and you slow down your life and not realize that, maybe work is not as important. Maybe money is not as important. You still got to take care of your bills and the stuff that you need. But at the end of the day, please just take time for yourself. Take care of yourself is number one thing that as you get older is that you want to be able to take care of yourself because like I said, you're not going to have too many days that you're going to kind of want to look back and be like, man, I kind of wish I lived life. Even though I was living life, like I said, there's two different meanings. You could live life and build things and get people happy to see what you could do with your two hands. Or there's another thing where you could enjoy life and be there with your families. And sometimes maybe it's not just with your family, it's self-love to yourself by, like I said, a few years ago, I took a trip to Colorado to take that next step in my motorcycle journey. Obviously owning motorcycles for so long to be able to go on that adventure that I never accomplished yet and never did because obviously I was in support bikes. We never did that kind of stuff. We did have a lot of late nights though in drag racing, and that's another talk about. But it's just sometimes, having a Harley, you can actually take the journeys and actually drive the miles and be able to see the scenery and see things. And it stops you for a minute to realize, and to be able to do that on a bike that you built is really cool for one thing, guys. But just to go there and go see life, Colorado was most beautiful life experience I have done with myself is to, go. I did a lot of cool bike shows and, accomplish a lot, but be able to take my custom motorcycle that I built and drive it all the way to Colorado and did the Iron Butt Challenge, and not in 24 hours, but in 13 hours is a very accomplished thing for myself. And I have all the documents to back it all up. And I still need to send that stuff out so I could get my certification for the Butt Iron Challenge. But the thing is, like I said, I rode there in one day. It was over 1,000 miles in like 13 hours. Did what I did down there, went to bed, woke up super early, and went back out on the road. And that whole day, the very next day, I probably put another 1,000+ miles just riding me and my two wheels. And like I said, guys, that was so enjoyable and so beautiful. Like I said, guys, take away the cars and bikes, you still got to enjoy life. I like to enjoy life by going to car shows. I love enjoy life going on bike shows. I love enjoying life in a lot of different different areas. Like I said, but like I said, guys, the key thing is really take care of yourself. Because you don't know each day it's going to bring, anything could happen. You got to live for the moment and like take more, like I said, you just please, guys, take this serious. I lived it and I'm still happy, but really take vacations and go enjoy your life and don't let work stress you out as much as you should let it be, or anything in life that to matter stress you out. Enjoy life, guys. Like I said, guys, sorry for the lengthy video going down memory lane like a float. This is just for you guys to learn and take this video however you want to take it. I'm sorry it wasn't cool with car stuff, but sometimes we just need to come face to face with reality and realize life goes by fast. One blink, you're young. Next blink, you're mid-age. Third blink, you're growing old and you're almost dying. So, guys, take advantage of life. Take every moment you can. Cherish it. Be there for your loved ones as much as they would want to be there for you. Put your time in where it deserves to be put. Don't let anything that is not good control your life. but let yourself control yourself. So next time, guys, please like and subscribe. I'm hoping that I'll have a video next week. The next 3 days is going to be in the negative degree weather, not going outside. So I hope to get back on the Mustang, guys. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. I will see you guys in the next.